So, 2022 is over. The year has left us with an uncertainty feeling of what's to come, but gave us freedom and happiness that we were looking for. Essentially, what the other 2 years deprived us of. So let's start at the beginning of this year, January to June. January, I decided to take on content creation full-time and be serious about it. Not to say I wasn't the year before, but I was ready to make it my career. So I decided to post every day, 1 main post, 2 reels. On top of this, I was working full-time where my job was averaging around 40 hours a week. I was not aware of how draining it was going to be, so I'll give you an example of a typical monthly routine. Monday through to Sunday, posting on Instagram and TikTok every day. Post on YouTube every Sunday. Safe to say that burnout was on the upwards trajectory. February. I made a video regarding burnout as a whole on the 27th of February. I spoke about how real and authentic that I was being, but looking back I was lying, not only to you, but to myself. I made a whole video that scratched the surface of what it was like facing burnout and how you could prevent it. Let me be first to say that you can't prevent something from happening when you're stuck in the same cycle, which is leading to burnout in the first place. Following on from this, I told you guys that I was fine. I was having therapy, so I'm in safe hands, which, don't get me wrong, is 100% true. I am in therapy. However, I was stuck in my life and I didn't know if that I was ready to continue being a creator. I felt guilty that I was letting you down, and the pressure I was giving myself for missing a week was toxic. How can I preach happiness and taking care of yourself if I'm lying and not taking care of myself? As for March through to June, I posted 13 videos. They were sporadic. I was posting 1 week, missing another, and essentially I was in a creative slump. I continued lying to you guys and pretending everything is okay. During this time in my personal life, I was going on dates and dating people that didn't have my best interests at heart. Looking back today, as they still message me, the signs were clear. I was looking past them, as I'm someone who tries to see the good in bad people. I was neglecting my own character. My friends, colleagues at work started to notice the shift in my attitude, but I still continued giving both jobs 100% and essentially working myself sick. June. Now I turned 22 on the 4th of June. I had a day where I could do anything and nothing at the same time. I was going to treat myself to all the things I said I wouldn't. Now, if you know me, it's either clothes, bags, or shoes, and maybe the odd occasion food too. Instead of taking a day to myself, I decided to do some light work, which led me editing a video until 2 a.m. the following morning. And yes, I also had work that same day. During this time, I was talking to my therapist and I said how I was progressing and finding that balance. A week later, I missed an upload because I wasn't happy with how a different video turned out, and I asked myself, if you continued going down this road, you're going to make yourself sick. So I created a content calendar, which yes is what I'm semi-sticking to now. I would batch content from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. and then after post 1 photo and leave the editing until the next day, which I still find myself doing it all in one day at times because I'm so excited about the content I got, but it has gotten better. I said to myself, you deserve a break, and if you miss a week, who cares? Stop feeling guilty. And it worked. I did the same workload, but not in one day, and I gave up the toxic mindset of if I didn't post, no one is angry at me. It's okay. July through to December. So at the start of July, I was still hesitant on if social media as a career was the right fit for me, but I knew deep down building a community that can help others is what little me would have wanted. So for the first time in a long time, I did something for myself and made a decision based on my own opinion and not someone else's. Before you ask, I am a Gemini, not a Libra, and 99% of the time I can make a decision. Love you, Libras. I stumbled across a TikTok of someone mentioning the Pinterest Creator Fund in the UK and how they're accepting people of any race, ethnicity, gender identity, sexuality, and so on. So as someone who is a queer, black, plus-size individual, I thought that this was perfect. However, the only downside is the video I'd seen had 400,000 views and there are a ton of comments, people saying that they applied. So in my brain, my look was very slim to none. However, in the application, I was very honest and said I wanted to see me. I wanted to see me on social media, someone who were the following. And then after 2 or 3 weeks of waiting, I got an email from Hannah at Pinterest wanting to call me. My anxiety started kicking in, and yes, my ass clenched. I was so nervous. Also, I was in the fitting rooms at the time, so imagine me sweating and having a literal heart attack helping people trying to find their size and chatting about life in 30-degree weather. It wasn't good. So I sat in our unused beauty room and had a call with Hannah. It felt like a fever dream. It was truly an out-of-body experience. After talking to someone who felt like a best friend to me, she told me that I was one of 10 creators. I thought she was lying, so my reaction was very minimal, and I did say something along the lines of, are you joking? Or is this kind of a prank? When I realized that she was serious, I did almost cry, and everything I'd worked for started to fall into place. Pinterest, the social media platform which I use daily, wants me to be a part of the creator fund. My stomach started hurting and I was overwhelmed but excited. While those feelings were true, it was in fact my IBS because I did have dairy that day, but that's besides the point. Then, in my opinion, my life changed. I went to London for the first time in a while. I met a few influencers and creators who got it. I was surrounded by people for the first time who finally understood how I felt when it comes to video production, fashion, and overall content ideas. I felt like I was at home. Having a mentor like Hannah is truly something that I'm forever grateful for, and I loved Hannah and Georgia with my whole heart. The rest of the year was pretty much upwards. I worked with Pinterest and then with Lush, and yes, I'm still fangirling and crying about it all. I managed to find somewhat of a healthy balance between work and work. In November and December, I went to a few events with Pinterest, one in Manchester, which was for the northern creators, and again, I met the nicest people and I love them all with my whole heart. Literally still crying. And then the following week, I went to London for quote an end of year party. I met more creators and friends who I'd made over the summer, and again, they were the kindest people ever. And so that leads us to here. Me, my shopping addiction, my filming obsession, and my editing compilation. Or completion. I just kind of wanted to rhyme there. Now that I sit here and think about it, I should have said content creation because that would have made sense. But let's pretend I said that. I'm ready for all the good, the bad, the ugly that comes with this career. It did take me 2 to 3 years to realize this, but I'm a slow learner anyway. So bring on 2023. All great things ahead. I can feel it.
Been with her for hours and it's starting to be really draining. My God, oh man, I remember when it felt amazing. At least she didn't lie when she told me she had something crazy.